Hello friends, all right everyone, welcome back to the another lifetime. So guys, tonight we are going to talk about a massive development that cuts right into the heart of justice, accountability and the political pressure campaign happening inside the American legal system. The big headline is simple. A federal grand jury has declined to indict New York Attorney General Letitia James. And that might sound just another political story, but trust me, what's underneath it is much bigger. This is about the limits of presidential pressure on the justice system and what happens when political vendors collides with the rule of law. But let's get into it because once you know and understand what happened here, you will see exactly why this movement is such a major setback for the people who have been trying to weaponize federal prosecutions to go after political enemies. So, guys, here is the situation. The Department of Justice brought a case to a grand jury attending for the second time to indict Letitia James on charges of bank fraud and making false statements. This is the same Letitia James who won a massive civil fraud case against Donald Trump. The same Letitia James who has been one of the Trump's most consistent legal threats for years. And the same Letitia James who has been on Trump's personal enemies list every time he takes the stand. And 2 weeks ago, the first case against her got tossed out entirely. And not because the evidence was weak or the charges didn't make sense, but because the prosecutor who brought it, Lindsay Halligan, was unlawfully appointed. Halligan isn't some seasonal federal prosecutor. She is a former personal attorney for Donald Trump with literally no prosecutorial experience, placed in a US attorney role for the day after Trump fired the person who refused to prosecute James and Comey. It was so blatantly improper that a federal judge declared the entire indictment void. So, fast forward to now, a different set of prosecutors tried again. They went back to the grand jury, they presented a new version of the case, and the grand jury said no. Again. That means ordinary citizens sitting behind closed doors were shown the evidence and they didn't buy it. That alone is telling that Letitia Jane's statement after the news broke was exactly what you would expect from someone who has been through the grinder but knows the law better than the people trying to use it against her. She said the charges were baseless and called out the unchecked weaponization of our justice system. She thanked the grand jurors. She said she kept doing her job. And more importantly, especially the work involving the Trump fraud case is not tainted by an ongoing indictment. Instead of being painted as a corrupt prosecutor, she is becoming the example of someone targeted politically who stood her ground and was cleared twice. So that matters because the people who tried to put her in handcuffs wanted the opposite headline. They wanted Trump critic indicted and they didn't get it. So, what does this mean for America? Because this isn't just about one case or one person. We are watching a sitting president, yes, Trump, attempting to use federal prosecutors as tools for personal revenge. We saw him publicly pressure the Attorney General. We saw him fire a US attorney who didn't follow his demands. We saw him install a loyalist with no qualifications. We saw him publicly call for prosecution of Adam Schiff, James Comey, and Letitia James, all political opponents. And then magically, indictments said Americans, not judges, not politicians, said there is nothing here. So, for all the talk about weaponization, the only real weaponization we are seeing is Letitia James and continue being one of the few public officials in America who actually took Trump to court and won. She walks out of this movement kingmaker. She walks out with more credibility than the people trying to bring her down. And she walks out as a symbol of how political prosecution attempts can feel when the justice system refuses to bend. Her message tonight is simple. She is still standing, she is still doing her job, and she is not backing down. And politically, this will only increase her national profile, particularly among voters who want leaders willing to take on abuse of power. So prosecutors could try again, but honestly, after two failures, they are running out of the runway. The story doesn't end here, and there is a real conversation happening inside DOJ about the future of these politically charged cases. But the big headline tonight is clear. Letitia James hasn't been indicted. The case fell apart again. And the effort to use the justice system as a tool for political punishment just hit another brick wall. And if you believe in the rule of law, that's something worth paying attention to. So thank you so much guys for joining me today. Stay tuned, stay informed as always, keep your eyes open because the next chapter in the fight is coming and is going to be a big one. So kindly let me know your thoughts in the comments. So I will read them all of them, and I will also love to hear and reply to all of the comments. And thank you so much for being with me. And if you like this breakdown, kindly give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to our channel for daily breaking news and the political updates. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys in the next one.